it going, everybody? I am back with another video, and this is the first one, I think, from just remembering that I've ever made during the actual daytime, in large part because we just got through a bitch of a snowstorm here on the East Coast, so I thought, been snowed in, kind of stir crazy for the past day or two. Perfect time to make some videos, do something semi-productive instead of just wandering around, doing very little. So I'm going to make another video today. I might make two. But this first one is going to be about something that I've actually been really excited to make a video about, really anticipating for quite some time. And that is the release of the Nintendo new 3DS XL. And this video is going to kind of be just my thoughts about it, a little bit of my history as pertains to handheld gaming and the 3DS. And then, right now I guess I can quickly kind of show the thing off. I'm sure if you've wanted to see the new 3DS or a 3DS at all, you're well aware what they look like, what they can do, what they are. But if for some reason, you're not, this is the system I got, the 3DS, new 3DS Black console. I'm on autofocus right now, so I don't know how clear it'll be, but this is kind of the size of it. I've got Metal Gear 3D, or Metal Gear, I guess, Snake Eater 3D set up as my theme or whatever. It's a nice little looking console, nice little piece of technology, nice screen size, whole thing's pretty sleek, pretty cool. So there, that bad boy is. I said in a previous video that I was going to get the Zelda Majora's Mask Limited Edition console, and of course, a handful of days after I said that, I got an email from Best Buy saying they oversold pre-orders. I was not getting one, which bummed me out, but they gave me a massive discount off of this. So, once the sort of nerddom wore off of not having, the Majora's Mask one, the financial sense of getting this for basically half off was actually probably the best thing in the long run anyway, so I'm not really too concerned about it at this point. What I want to talk about with this thing, just quickly, is I have not owned and played a handheld console of any type since, I want to say, the Game Boy Advance, and even that I maybe used 5 to 10 times ever. I really haven't played a handheld console on a regular basis since the original old school Game Boy, whenever that was, playing Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow and some Tetris, 10 to 15 years ago. So this is really my first handheld that I plan to actually spend any kind of time with since I was, a middle school age kid. And, the thing that really kind of put me over the top in wanting to get one of these was a lot of videos on YouTube where people just ranted and raved about how handheld gaming was no longer just something you did to pass the time, but in a lot of ways, the handheld consoles and the 3DS specifically were really catching up to, the PlayStations and the Wii U's and the Xboxes of the world in terms of, technology itself, the games, the titles you could get. It wasn't just something where you got watered down crap that you were expected to only play, in car rides or something. There's a lot of games that people raved about for this thing and for the Vita that, were worth getting to do more than just kill time with. So I started thinking about getting one of these, and then I, luckily enough, saw that the new 3DS was coming out relatively soon. So I decided to hold off on getting a regular old 3DS or 3DS XL and wait for the new 3DS, and I'm very glad that I did, because this thing is just freaking awesome. From what little I've done with it so far, I guess quickly I'll break down what games I've got. The only game I've played so far is Bravely Default, which I'm absolutely loving so far, and I'll probably talk more about that later on, down the line. But I've got Bravely Default, Fire Emblem Awakening, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, which I haven't played a Pokemon game in about 15 years, so that was a buy one, get one free for something else, and I thought, why the hell not? But, Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Link Between Worlds, and I believe that's it. But, I feel like that alone, on top of what I'm playing for consoles, or for other consoles, is going to last me, in all seriousness, probably at least a year. So, really, the simple fact of this video is just to quickly go over both what I thought of this so far and talk about the fact that I never saw myself really as being a handheld game player. As I've read more online and watched videos and read on Reddit and all kinds of places, all these people ranting and raving about how awesome handheld consoles have become. Even then, it did pique my interest enough to make me think about getting one of these, but I never really saw myself as the kind of person who could be, wandering the halls at work or sitting on the toilet at the office or, in the car at red lights, pulling out a console and actually playing because, usually when I'm in the mood to game at all, it's, gotten off of work, come home, either friends are over, want to play something, like Smash Brothers, just to have some fun together, or I've kind of gotten home, kicked my feet up, and, felt like sitting down and really taking in a game on the big screen. And, handheld gaming almost feels too, like, ever present to me. Like, there's many scenarios during the day where I have no real desire to be playing anything. So I never really saw myself as the kind of person that, carry this around in my pocket all the time, or, if I'm going to be in my house playing something, it's probably going to be something on the TV and not, something with one, 30th the size screen that I'm just like, sitting on the couch staring at. So I never really pegged myself as a big handheld player, but I began to realize how much people enjoyed them and how great some of the titles sounded and thought, they're relatively affordable. Sounds like a lot of fun. Why not get it and just see kind of what I'm thinking of it. And so far, it's awesome. I was incredibly impressed by the 3D capability on this thing. I know the new 3DS has a bit more 3D stability than the old one, which it still gets kind of wonky if you're in low light or you move around a good deal. But if you sit pretty normally, don't move your head side to side, too crazy, the 3D this thing can produce is freaking awesome. Like, as immersive and as cool an effect as at least the movies I've seen in 3D, which I've been pretty unimpressed with. But, I was expecting this to be a complete gimmick that I would never use, but so far, I've played some Ability Default with 3D on, some without. But when it's on, it looks awesome. Sometimes I'm just playing late at night and the 3D kind of stinks in complete darkness, so it's not worth keeping on. But otherwise, I keep it on, it looks great. So, the 3D is terrific. I thought the screen might be so small it would be sort of frustrating for me to play because I haven't used a handheld in a long time, but this thing is pretty much the perfect size. Small enough to easily transport around, but I don't feel like I'm looking at Post-it note and trying to see what's going on the screen. It's big enough to make out details, play without feeling too cramped. The controls are pretty smooth. The whole interconnectivity of the way the whole thing is set up with Nintendo eShop and, linking it to my Nintendo account that I have for a Wii U. The whole thing is just, I'm really impressed by this so far. And it's something that I thought I might just kind of use as a novelty or use traveling, but now it's something that I'll not only, definitely take with me when I go on long trips, but I could also see myself definitely, plowing through these games a bit quicker than I initially anticipated. So the new 3DS XL, to not bore you anymore, I have no experience with the 3DS previous to this, but my experience with this so far is an awesome piece of technology that is great as both a handheld console and just a console in general. That does a lot of things right, that I'm really excited to use more, and I'm sure I'll talk about it more as I play more games and have a longer actual period of exposure to it. But the gist was to just show you that I got one of these things, talk about the games I got, talk about the fact that I'm not a handheld gamer for the most part, so this is all sort of new territory to me. And just to say that I'm excited to keep plowing ahead. I'm an hour into the first game and I already am semi-hooked. I probably won't start sitting on the shitter at work playing this, but I do plan to sink some time into it. So, awesome. I'm going to make more videos about it. Fellow 3DSers, I understand why you like it so much, and, I'm kind of stoked to see what happens moving forward. So, I'll probably make another video in the next day or two. Take care, guys.